Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk books. First book I want to talk about is a book that I didn't think I was going to read this month, but I'm really glad that I did. Black Friday. So this book is a short story book. It's anthologies, and this writer is absolutely amazing. Like, I can't even believe that this same author wrote all these different stories in this book because the writing is so diverse. The beginning of the book starts out with a man who is on trial for killing 5 black kids in front of a library with a chainsaw, and he might get off for it. And one of the last stories is about this guy who sells his soul to a 12-tongue god, and this god has him go through some crazy test in a hospital with his father, and it's crazy. I'm really glad that I read this because most of the stories in this book kind of touch on some type of social injustice or familial emotional issue or something where there's a message and something can be taught or taken from it. So it was a really good book. 5 stars, hands down. Black Friday, really dope. Next book I'm reading is something that is on my November TBR, and I'm staying true to my TBR list. I'm staying true. And that book is Legendborn. So many people have reviewed this book and everyone says that it's a 5-star. I haven't met one person yet to say that this book was bad. Maybe there was 1 or 2 people, but everyone loves this book. I was like, let me go ahead and read it. I've had it for at least a year now, so it's about time I should read it. I'm on page 125 and I'm really enjoying it. The lead character, Bree, she's 16 years old. She's at this college campus where the first night there she witnesses magic. The second night she is joining a secret magic society and she's become a page. And a lot of the people there are kind of upset with her because their families have been trying for generations to become a part of this society. So she's already learning magic and she realizes that she has magical powers, and she's on this journey to figure out what really happened to her mom who passed in the beginning of the book. Whew, I killed that. But I absolutely love the writing. It's very fast paced. The world building is very descriptive and I'm really enjoying it. This is another book that I'm reading that I feel like could definitely be on television. I'm enjoying this. Legendborn. In the vein of nonfiction November, I am deciding to go back to a book that I started earlier this year that I did not finish, and that book is Toni Morrison's The Source of Selfregard. So I started this book, you can see on my little tabbies. I was really enjoying this book, but I think I got to a point where I realized that Toni Morrison is actually too smart for me sometimes. I was reading a chapter and I was just like, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know. And I realized I just needed to put it down for the time being. And now I feel like I'm ready to actually dive back in. I'm going to have a dictionary on the side, a thesaurus. I'm going to make sure that I'm ready, a little notepad, and just make sure that I can get through the rest of this masterpiece because Toni she blows my mind. This book is a bunch of essays and reflections and notations that Toni gives on her ideals of humanity and the different discussions that can be had based on our traditions or our societal norms. Toni really dives into all aspects of humanity and the society that we live in, this world that we live in. It's a lot. It's Toni Morrison, so you already know. 5 stars. Also, during the month of November, most people celebrate Thanksgiving. I myself do not celebrate Thanksgiving for many reasons, but I do believe that this is a time where we can reflect on Native Americans and indigenous people. So there's a book that I do want to start before the month is over, and that book is The Firekeepers Daughter. Now, y'all already know, I got this book because of the cover. Before I even knew what it was about, who wrote it, I didn't know that it was Native American anything. I just knew that this cover needed to be in my possession. I do feel like this is a great opportunity for me to indulge in the native voice or the indigenous voice and find out a little bit more about that culture, or just to dive deep into the fictional mind of someone who is native to this land. I still know little about what this book is about, but I've heard a lot of reviews and most people are saying that it's pretty good, so I'm gonna give it a try. Instead of Thanksgiving, I'm doing this for my indigenous people. Boom. Lastly, I want to talk about something exciting that I did recently. I went out and got a library card. It has been at least 2 decades since I got my last library card, and I am excited. Once I got to the library, I thought, I'm going to be able to search around and find all the books that are on my TBR. Definitely not. Unfortunately, the library probably has 1 or 2 books by your favorite author and not all of the most recent releases that we're all interested in reading. So I got 2 books from the library and I am excited to read them. First book, Red Island House. So this book is pretty short. I feel like I'll have good time to read it and get it back in time. It's about a young lady who was born in America, living in Paris. She meets a guy, they get married, and then they move to Madagascar to raise a family. And during all of this, there are situations of racism. There are topics touching on colonialism, family issues, emotional issues, the ideals of different countries, the traditions of living in America versus Africa versus Europe. There's a lot going on in this small book, and I am ready to get into it before I have to return it back to the library. The last book on my list, and the second book that I got from the library, is Harlem. For those of you who might have watched some of my older videos, you know that I was born and raised in Harlem, New York, and it is one of the most influential, diverse, crazy cities in America. So this book on Harlem is giving us a flashback to when Henry Hudson and the Dutch first arrived on the banks of Manhattan, coming in contact with the natives who are on these shores. And straight out the gate, the first people that he meets that would be on what we would call 125th Street, they are rowdy, they're looking at him with suspicion, they're ready to fight or sell. They're like, we about our money or we about our protection. That already gave Harlem vibes. So I've only read about 10 pages of this. I do want to get deeper into it before I have to return it. This can also be a part of one of my November nonfiction reads. I'm excited. If I don't have enough time to read this, I think this is something that I would buy because it's about my hometown. I mean, come on, I might as well. So those are some books I've read, some books I'm reading, some books that I got from the library, some books that I'm picking up from earlier this year. I just got a bunch going on. I'm thankful for everyone that is here watching the video. If you get a chance, please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if there are any books that you would like to suggest that I can read and also review on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.